Hey team, welcome to another edition of the Rugby League Lounge weekly show. And today I am once again joined by Joel from League of Inches. Joel, how you on, mate?
Good, brother. Good.
Yeah.
Another good video coming up. Very excited about this. I've actually done a bit of study and everything. So bring it on.
Oh, I feel underprepared now. I must admit, I do a little bit of study, did do a little bit of study myself, but I do feel a little bit under the pump now that it's finally happening. So to explain why I've got Joel on is we are going to do a draft. Now, this is inspired by the NFL draft coming up this weekend. And to be honest, it's more of an excuse. Not really a big follower of the NFL draft, but I'm always keen on the draft concept. So today we are going to be drafting a young core to build our team around. Now, we're not doing a full lineup, as I think if we were to do a full lineup, then if you're building the team, you obviously want some experience. So we're left slots to be filled by, other players that aren't young. So it's going to be an under 25 a 25 and under draft. So we are not building to win now. We are building to build towards the future. So it's more that. So even though I might pick a player that's currently better than Joel now, Joel might be picking a player that actually has better potential. So there's a lot of things to consider: age, potential, cohesion, the way the game is played now, and basically how you want your team to play. So we're going to have 8 players in each team. It's going to be made up of fullback, so the spine, fullback 6, 7, and your hooker. You're going to have a winger, a centre. You're also going to have a middle forward, and to top it off, you're also going to have an edge forward as well. I'm just trying to think if there's anything to add. Well, we're doing a snake draft before this. We decided on how this is going to work. I am going to be selecting first. Joel has got back-to-back picks. Then it'll be me again. Once we get to the halfway mark, so when I pick my 4th player, we will switch it up. So Joel will then be picking, and then I will get back-to-back picks. So it's a snake draft, but at the halfway point, we switch. So me and Joel took a while to kind of get that running for our heads, but I think we've got it now. So just to sum it again, it's about building around this young core. So are we all ready to go, Joel? Have I missed anything?
No, we're basically just doing a Penrith Panthers of 2018 and doing a 5-year plan. So stick with us, guys.
I should have just left you to do it, explain, and that would have just covered it. All right. So with the first pick, now I'm just gonna, if you see me writing, guys, obviously got to keep track of everyone's pick. So with the number 1 pick, this is really tough. I am going to look. I'm still a little bit undecided. I'm not gonna lie. There's 2 names floating around my head. But I think I am going to select the guy that I think is already a top 3 player in the game today. Nathan Cleary is my pick here. So he is my halfback. So I can't pick another halfback. I can obviously pick a 6, but yeah, Nathan Cleary, don't have to do much explanation there. I think he's shown already from arguably the best player last year in terms of form. He's gone to another level again this year. So yeah, and he's only 23.
Yeah, that's a hard one to take. Obviously, that was top of the pops when it comes to these selections. You're going straight away with a big bopper of a back. I'm going to go the other way and go my second choice. For mine, the best young forward in the game. I'm going to go an edge forward, David Fafita. I think he's in crazy form at the moment, no doubt, but he's only young, and he's the scary thing is he's only getting better. So him in a few years' time with the halves and stuff that I'm hoping to get into this team, I think he's going to be an absolute superstar. For my third, I'll go halfbackers, or Actually, no, I've watched how these work in the past, actually, and I know that now that halfback is a free sort of go for me, so I can go now. I'm going to go a fullback. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to go hooker. I'm going to go Harry Grant.
Damn. Oh, I thought I had a chance to get him with two guys back to back. Damn it. Good pick.
I think we seen last year when he got the number 9 to himself how good of a player this guy is, and he's come back and Brandon Hectic Cheese takes the brunt of the defense to start with. He comes on and he's just a superstar. So would love to have him in my team, and it's great to welcome him to my side. And I promise, as captain coach of this side, he's going to get holidays whenever he wants as a thank you for coming on board.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. I think you'd much appreciate that. Interesting. All right, that is definitely you pulled yourself up short before when you were going to select the halfback, so you did well there. I've seen that before, and I shake my head. It's like, why can't you get him later when I can't get another halfback? So you did well there. All right, now, just when you list, you think you've got it all covered. Yeah, options are really starting to question myself already. I'm going to go straight away here with a fullback. I've got a soft spot for this man. Do I want to do this? Yeah, I think I do. I'm going to go with. Actually. Probably know who I'm thinking. There is a lot of fullback options. So am I really going to, shouldn't say waste a pick, or do I want to pick up someone in probably a weaker position? Look, I'm going to back myself here. I'm going to go. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? A bit of controversy. Right now, I am going to have this guy in my backs. I'm going to have this guy as a center. Now, we talked about this before recording. I am going to go a bit risky here. I am going to go with Tommy Turbo at center. And we've noted that we are allowed to do this. But obviously it's up for debate. I'm going to put him here. Now, one key reason here, he is going to be my center. I do like him as a center option here. I think it is going to also help with his injury potential too. He is a bit older compared to some of the available options. So I do look to potentially have a fullback that's going to be younger in the future. So I want to take Turbo here as my center. Is that all clear there, Joel?
Yeah, mate, that is clear. I'm just spewing to lose him.
Yeah. So it's a tactical there. Do we have to lock in the position, Joel? Like, say if I think, actually I want him as my fullback, I can shift him, or once I've locked him as a centre, I have to keep him there?
No, I think lock it in.
Lock it in. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Locking him as a centre. And also I'm going to go, look, I'm going to go here with, I'm just looking at the options here, and I'm actually going to go for a winger, because I'm going to go Brian Toto. I've really been impressed with what he's done so far. He's young, obviously, and I think it's really important these days to have a wing that can act as a second forward. And obviously, he does more than that. He can score tries, and I don't think the depth is there in the wing position. So I'm quite happy with my potential options in the other position. So yeah, I'm gonna lock in Brian Toto.
Oh, all right. He's obviously been in incredible form. I just released today a post of my rankings for wingers so far this season, and he's at number 1. No surprises there. He's just been sensational. The meters he can get and the tackles he breaks, he's a freak. So
yeah, he's and it'll be interesting to see who you get as a wing. But looking at this, I'm pretty happy with that decision, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. You might just be lagging a bit. Hold up, man.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. You all good?
I don't know what just happened there. My computer went a bit funny, so that was
Yeah,
weird.
that was
I'm
an
back
odd.
now. Technology, how good.
Yeah.
All right. So you've had your 2 picks in a row. Now I've got two again here. Um, for my 6th pick, I'm actually going to go a 6. So I only go a 5'8". I think it's good to tick off the ones that haven't been selected yet. As you said, it's a free hit. The other positions that have been. So I'm going to go a player that at the moment is playing centre, but I don't think he's a centre. I think he's a 5'8". He's going next year to a club as their 5'8". I'm going to go Matt Burton. I think he's young. He's a freak of a talent. The things he's doing at the centre at the moment is just going to improve his game in the long run. He's learning how to run holes, and that's what he wants to pass it to in the future. And he's obviously got the ball skills. He's got a great kicking game. That's something that we haven't seen yet, but he
Yeah.
can put bombs up. I love Matt Burton, so I'll be putting him as my 6.
There's a couple young guns that you get on early with, and from seeing him debut that first game, it wasn't last year, it was 2019, and he didn't show like, it's not like he had a debut where it would go down the record books, but there's a lot of composure. And yeah, like you said, the Rockets he was firing against the Storm, I believe it was. And just, yeah, he's got this control. I like him too. And honestly, it's why I didn't jump in on the 6. I was hoping he'd potentially be there. But yeah, I'm not too frazzled by that, but he's a guy I would have loved to have on my team. So yeah, great pick. Great pick. And I think he's a great player to have with Cleary off the board, because I think out of all these guys, I trust him the most, like in terms of controlling a team and getting your team in the right field position. Yeah, I think he's the only one that could potentially rival Cleary in the kicking department once he gets his shot. So I think you did well getting him.
I think once I do choose my halfback, you'll see in a few minutes' time, it will complement my halfback choosing as well, and very nicely.
Yeah.
Look, there's 2 more positions that haven't been chosen. There's a middle and there's a fullback. I'm going to obviously choose one of those. I only go middle forward because I think this guy is a must, and he hasn't been chosen yet, and I'm loving it because I think there is a small worry with this bloke. He needs to keep his head switched on and needs to be focused for the next 5-10 years of his career. Payne Haas as a middle forward. Look, I'm a little bit worried. I can't lie about that. I think we've all seen him in off seasons are his worst enemy. He gets into a bit of trouble from time to time, but I'm hoping as he's starting to mature now, he's getting to that age for a forward where they need to start becoming a leader. And I think he's starting to see that he does need to be that at the Broncos. And I think he's a very good option moving forward from my side.
Yeah, no, I think you've done well there. He definitely was one of those guys I was thinking about getting with my 2nd pick, but I do like a few options in the middle, and I think you've done well there, but I'm definitely going to go a different route there. I'm just trying to think. All right, positions that haven't been picked yet. We've got. Has every position been picked so far? No, fullback hasn't. No fullback. Do I go fullback? Yeah, this guy can make life difficult with you here, because obviously I've taken Turbo off the board. Look, there's a young guy I've got here that I've been keen on, but I'm going to go with more of a sure thing at this stage, and comes for my team. Ryan Pappenhausen.
That one hurts.
Because he's who I was going to get with my 4, but I liked my potential options. So, yeah, I'm going to go Ryan Pappenhausen.
That hurts.
All right, so we've got my fullback. Awesome. And now it switches to Joel. We're going to the second half. Now, we'll do a quick recap. So, with my selections, I've got my back line set for my number 6. So I've got Nathan Cleary. I've got as my halfback, and I selected Tommy Turbo on the centres, Brian Toto on the wing with Pappy at fullback. Joel has he's got his forward pack with his 5'8", so he's got an edge forward in David Fafita. He has got his hooker and Harry Grant. I won't get over that one for a long time. Middle, he has got Payne Haas, and as his 5'8", he's got Matt Burton, and he will kick us off into the second half of the draft.
All right, well, these are all basically the free ones now, but it'd be interesting if you choose a player that could be technically two positions. You might be able to steal someone for the other guy. So it could be still some interesting decisions being made. I'm going to get my halfback off the list. I'm going to choose Sam Walker. I think he's been incredible since he's come on. There's all this talk about him and he's lived up to the hype, and if not, shown more. I think he's had his game management for mine is something different, and he has been able to really steer this Rooster side around, which has some aging players in it who you could sometimes argue they'd sit there and just laugh at an 18-year-old with what he says, but the way he's done it, and I think he complements Matt Burton's game quite a lot. He can be the organiser. Matt Burton can be the guy that runs out the back and is that supporting 5'8" player, which I think will suit his game tremendously. So, yeah, Sam Walker, my halfback.
Yeah, no, I think you've done well there for sure. I think I completely echo what you say, and it's one of those things people say, oh, he's only played 4 games of first grade. You're overrating him. I think people misconceptualize that. I think it's more like, yes, you don't want to pat them on the back too much, but can we just admire him? Like, honest, and just say he's a good player. Like, he deserves his praise. We're not expecting him to be the next great thing. Like, I think a lot of people think, yes, he can do that, but if he doesn't turn out to be one of the best halfbacks in the world, that's okay. We're not saying it'll be a disappointment if he doesn't get there. We're just saying that the potential's there, and what we've seen so far, he's delivering for me. Yeah.
I think with what we're doing, he's obviously younger, so he's going to build into it as well. So it's good to have a couple of really young ends coming into the side, in my opinion.
Yeah, and awesome to have him partnered by Walker. I mean, not by Walker, sorry, by Burton. I think that's a good mix too. So yeah, like you said, it's kind of like we don't have to fight for positions here. So I can go into my forward pack. I've got a 5'8". I might just top off my back line. I'm just wondering if there'll be any positions that I've potentially upset for you, but nah, I doubt it. I'm going to grab a guy that I'm not... I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of, but I guess I predicted him to have a down year this year, and he's proved me wrong. And it'd be dumb of me not to pick him, especially with the guy I've got at halfback, and that is Jerome Luai. He has just come on this year, and yeah, he's confident. So yeah, looks like I'm rounding out my Penrith Panthers team here with Jerome Luai. So we'll get on to the next pick. So I've got my middle forwards to select. I've got edge. I'm really stuck on the edge. Look, I really like this guy. For me, he's the reason I didn't pick Haas. I think he could be a real key leader for this team as well at a young age. Cam Murray, I like how the game is played now, especially with the lock position, and I think he suits this role to a T. So for me, Cam Murray, and yeah, his age is kind of aligning with a lot of my players as well. So yeah, Cam Murray for me. I've gone for more of a speed approach and a agility approach rather than your power approach with Payne Haas. So yeah, that's my middle forward.
That's a good pick. So I guess I get 2 now to round out. I got 3. There's 3 more to go. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm really struggling to choose a fullback, to be honest. There's still a few good ones out there, and I just don't know which one's going to complement who. I'm going to go for a centre. Mm-hmm. And actually, no, sorry, I'm going to go a winger. I'm going to go a bit of a different one here, but I'm going to go Xavier Coates.
Okay.
I know he's in a Broncos team, which has been struggling, but I think he's one of those confidence players where if he's in a good side and there's obviously some good players in this team, he will go to that next level. Now he's very good under the high ball. I like to have big bodies as my outside backs, and he's definitely that, and he's very quick as well. People talk about Addo Carr, things like that, but I think he's right up there speed wise. So I really like to have big, fast outside backs. So he definitely fits the bill there.
Yeah, no, you've done well there. I believe he was probably the best winger available, to be fair to you. So I can't scrutinise that pick. So
And second pick, I'm going to go center or fullback. Look, I'm going to do a U. I'm going to do a multi-position player. I'm going to have him at center. Now I'm a bit worried with this one because I'm going to have now two players where, all due respect, can sometimes mentally be out of the game.
yeah, interesting.
I'm going to go Latrell as my center. On his day, I think he is showing at the moment he's one of the best players in the game. But he still has these silly brain explosions, which I'm hoping in my team I can coach out of him. But Wayne Bennett can't even coach out of him at the moment, so we're in a bit of trouble. But I just think on a talent basis, if I can get him shining, he's going to be a real asset to this side. And
Yeah,
he's still only young, I guess. He's still only young, and he's hopefully maturing. He's got a few kids now as well, so hopefully he's getting to that stage of his career where he wants to focus on the footy side of things.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's one of those ones where I think, even though there's some, potential downside, I think the upside outweighs the downside. So, yeah, I think I can't fault you there. Yeah, now I've got two interesting picks here. Honestly, I was really hoping that I was able to get the edge forward because I think David Fafita is the clear standout in the edge forward. Now, obviously, his talent alone warrants to pick, even if the depth was a bit low. But for me, I haven't even put down it, so I'm just scrolling. For the hooker position too is a bit tough because even though he's a guy that's clearly for me probably the best hooker right now, do I want to go to him? Who has more potential? Look, we're gonna play. So obviously there's Reid Mahoney, and Reid Mahoney is not who I'm gonna pick here. I'm gonna go with my guns here, and I'm going to go with Brandon Smith. I'm gonna go Brandon Smith as my hooker. That's tough, but I'm just thinking about the way we're playing. It's a fast game. Now, obviously, this is just a young core, so I would love to have a rotation where I think Smith is. I'm not saying because I do believe maybe lock is his best position rather than hooker, but I still think he's valuable as hooker, but I think he is best suited with a little stints, on and off. So if I was to build this team, I'd make sure we did have a backup for Smith or guy that we can use as a combo. Obviously, I can't have the luxury of having Harry Grant and Brandon Smith, but I do like having Brandon Smith there. So yeah, I'm going to go to Brandon Smith over Reid Mahoney, as I don't think I need probably the playmaking that Mahoney brings as much as I do because of Cleary and Luai bring that enough. So yeah, I'm going to go with Smith there. Also, the combination with him and Ryan Peppenhausen too. So yeah, now I've got to get my edge forward. And I'm really stuck now. Well, we're looking for the options here. Ooh. You did really well getting Dave Fafita, I must say.
That's really got you.
It's got me. Oh, because yeah. And to be honest, I thought I did my list earlier. And I was like, yeah,
him and Harry Grant.
Yeah, I've got enough. And then I've only put him down. I'll tell you who I've put there. I've put someone there as my edge back row, but he's a bit like you, where and I think I'm going to pick him. He's a bit like, he's one of those guys I have to make sure he's on the right path early.
Cannon.
Well, yeah, a bit of a loose cannon. I'm just seeing if there's a young guy, so I had to hold you up.
I've got one in my head, but I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably escape me straight away. But you'll probably say him later, and yeah, you're not. Yeah, you wouldn't. Don't help me. Like God, I wouldn't be helping you, mate. Right. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen much of him play, but you know, now I probably should have got a different middle, but I'm okay with this. This guy has got a rare skill set for his position. You can arguably say he can play as a 6. I'm gonna get Josh Schuster here.
Oh, that's what I had.
Yeah, I got to get Josh Schuster. I was going to get Tavita Pangai Jr., and I'm happy that I found Schuster. So, yeah, Schuster's one, and I've admitted before I haven't watched too much Schuster, but I got to see a glimpse of him on the weekend. And Little Hot, I have seen a bit of him. But yeah, he's got this ability to. He gets through his work as well. He's not just a playmaker, but he has got half-light skills, and he's going to be my edge back rower, and he's going to be. And even though he's going to be able to create for others, he is still going to be able to run the lines for Luai and hopefully turn into the Wade Graham of my side.
Very, very good selection there. I've watched most of the Manly games this year. He is an out-and-out superstar in the making. He's played all his junior grades at 5'8", and he comes into grade and they needed edge back rollers at the time, and he's made it look like he's been an edge back roller his whole life.
Do you think it is his best? Do you think it is his best position?
At the moment, yes. I think I argued when they were in their bad form at the start of the year he should have been 5'8" instead of Foran, because I think Foran has lost it. But now that Turbo's there, he takes Foran's pressure away from him being a playmaker, and Foran can just pop up and be like the organizer there. So it works for the team at the moment. I would argue if Turbo gets injured again, I'd put Schuster back to 5'8".
Right.
Just because of the balance wouldn't be quite there. But while Turbo's fit, he should be a running edge back rower who can offload and link up with Cherry Evans and Turbo.
Yeah. Nah, cool. Yeah, where were you? You got last pick. Make it a goodie.
Yeah, so this was the one I didn't know who to pick fullback, because as you said at the start, there were so many. Now, I've chosen this guy because he seems to have his head screwed on. He's a good young player. His step is ridiculous. I want speed in my backline. I think he does have some good speed. His agility is next level. And he's one of those people I'm happy for him to do what he wants to do outside of footy, because he's pretty switched on and pretty grounded. I've gone Kalen Ponga for my fullback.
Sweet. Can't argue there. Yeah, I've been impressed with him the last 2 seasons, because I think he was down in 2019 compared to his 2018 when he almost got Dally M, and a lot of it was about effort for me in 2019. But even though he might not have had the highlights in 2020, you could see there was a bit more intent and a bit more care, and obviously you said, he's got his podcast outside of footy, and he's one of those guys that's really good at being not being afraid to be himself and all that, but it doesn't get in the way. And I was impressed with him last week against the Panthers too. Like, there was a lot of, even though they were big underdogs and they ended up losing by about 18 points, and he didn't have the best performance in terms of, like we talked about, stats and all sorts. If you watched him, you could see he was putting 100% in, and I did question that at times, but I think it's a great pick. And I think when you've got more talent around Pong, I think sometimes he lacks just having attacking options. With your young core, mate, that's not an issue. That's not an issue.
I think it's also a quick example where people can go on and rate a player very early on, and then because he doesn't make the 16 line breaks a game like Ponga was doing when he first came in. As you said, last year he probably had a bit of a downer year, but he was still doing the 1%ers and he was still there. And that's what's really good about those young players, that they can, while they're not doing the big line breaks and the cutout passes and stuff, they're doing the 1%ers that are keeping him as a very good first grade player. And I think a lot of people miss that when it comes to these young players and putting too much pressure on them too early. They're all young. People like Joey, Thurston and stuff, they weren't playing their best footy until 24, 25. People got to remember. So these young players can really step up, and we've both selected a lot of good young players. And look, to quickly tell you a couple of players that we didn't pick that could have easily made it, but like Bradman Best, Katoni Staggs, Tom Dearden as a half. There's a lot of good young talent out there.
Yeah, for sure. And it was so interesting about doing this draft because you could take a completely different angle. And if I saw that for my fullback option, I would have really, and it's not coming based off his debut, even though he did have a good debut, but what Reece Walsh would have been for me, because especially when you think, okay, you'll probably hit a certain age target, I'll go a bit younger and start, obviously with Reece Walsh and, kind of fit his timeline. But I've been impressed by little flashes of him before he even got the first grade. I remember Junior Kiwis. My mate was playing for Junior Kiwis back probably good 4 years ago, and the fullback stood out. And I remember watching Reece Walsh's highlights a couple of weeks ago. I was like, that was that fullback, and just little glimpses like that. And I could tell straight away, I was like, that kid's going to be good. And he showed little glimpses of his game in the Warriors that against the Storm that didn't attract me originally when I watched him. So to see that he had that composure and that playmaking ability against this, the Storm in such a big occasion, Anzac Day, was huge. And he also had middle forwards such as Fisher Harris, Aidan Fanil-Blake, Nass, as a Nelson Sofaloma. So obviously older guys, but they would have warranted selection for sure. So we'll wrap up by just probably going off our list. We can maybe even do a bit of a pitch as well about our lineup and why ours, I'd rather build around my team rather than yours. But hey, I'd be handy to build around both. So do you want me to do my pitch first, or?
Yeah, happy for you. Here you go.
All right, so we'll hopefully, we'll go through obviously fullback and up. So at fullback, I am going to have Pappy. Then I've got the half combo, who have really got that combination already, in Luai and Cleary. They have obviously they won 17 games in a row. Obviously lost the big dance, yes, but guess who they lost to? Pappy and Brandon Smith, my hooker. So I've got winners in my team already, and integral parts of winning sides. So yeah, no question there. I've also got Cameron Murray, who's played New South Wales. He has also been part of a team in the Rabbitohs who have been one of the heavyweights of recent years. And also he is the way the game's played now, the way the lock forward position should be played now. He's speedy. He's got that ball playing ability as well. And he's a great leader. Probably him and Cleary are going to be fighting out for that captain position for myself. We've also got in the backs, we have got Brian To'o. He's just can be an extra forward. He can score tries. He's always going to be in the front foot. And obviously used to playing with Lua and stuff. We've got an extra playmaker there in Josh Schuster, who, he's going to be my Wade Graham of this side. Because you never be short of playmakers. And at centre, look, I've got arguably still could be potentially the best talent available in this age range. Obviously, injury is a big concern, but it's going to be less of a concern at centre position where he isn't used as much in Tommy Turbo. And he can just worry about his game and can be obviously a great target for the high ball. And as we saw in Origin in Game 2 in 2019, even though, yes, preferably, he's more impactful as a fullback, but by gosh, it's at centre, he's still a threat to be reckoned with. So, yeah, that is my team, or my core, I should say.
Well, look, I'll straight away, if it's a debate, I'll argue that you've chosen your 6 and 7. They're already flying. They've hit their peak. There's there's no going up from there. So you've chosen it for the future. I don't know how bright the future is. There's surely a time where they start to go downwards.
Good point.
Look, my side is Ponga at fullback. I'll go the spine first. I got Burton at 5'8", Walker at 7, who is arguably the best 18-year-old we've ever seen make his debut in first grade. So he's just something else, and he's just building. He's a natural 5'8". He's got players like Freddie and Andrew Johns, the 8th, absolutely wrapped. They can't speak highly enough of the kid. And I've got also the best hooker in the game as well in Harry Grant. So I've got the two best playmaking young guns in my side. So the future's definitely bright. On my outside backs, look, I've got Xavier Coates and Latrell Mitchell on one side. And to be honest, we're going to go that side every time. And everyone can know that because you're still not going to be able to stop them. So we'll have Ponga giving it out to Latrell. Latrell beating 1 or 2 with his fend. And Xavier Coates down the sideline with his blistering speed. With the forwards, the way this game is now moved, and we've all talked about it all year, it's all about your big forwards getting offloads and generating second, third rucks, and without having a tackle and generating that line, that speed through the ruck. I've got Payne Haas, who's one of the best offloading forwards in the game, and Dave Fafita, who's just a try-scoring freak. Both very big bodies. Both can run very good lines, but also have very good ball skills for a forward. So, look, guys, I don't know what else I need to say, but I think that could be a drop the mic moment.
Yeah, well, to be fair, didn't help my cause when I absolutely dropped the ball once Fafita was like off the board. So, yeah, honestly, man, it's going to be interesting what the followers think. So we'll post these teams for you to vote on. Or hopefully, I'll probably get this video up either tonight. So it's either going to be up. Yeah, so if it's a Wednesday night, will be up. So yeah, it'll be available to vote on Wednesday night. Hey Joel, cheers very much, mate. Really appreciate doing content with you, man. And I'm sure we'll be doing more in the future. Just also we were meant to do this with BKR Sport. He was unavailable to join. I think he's a little bit under the weather, so all the best to him, and hopefully do some content with him in the future. He sounded pretty enthusiastic to do this. So yeah, sucks that we couldn't have him on board today, but hopefully in the future we can. Any final words, Joel?
No, just thanks for having me on. It's good fun. Looking forward to doing these sorts of things in the future. It's always good talking points, and it's a bit of fun. We're just league lovers, and any of these sorts of things are good to do. And hopefully the fans get involved and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing some fantastic work and loving the page. The page is getting better and better. So your content's much better. Anyone out there who hasn't already, go have a look at my page as well, League of Inches, and more than happy to get fans involved, some of the videos, things like that. And yeah, thanks again for having me on.
Yeah, no issues, man. Yeah, like Joel said, go check him out. He's doing great stuff. And yeah, guys, have a good week, and I'll catch you guys next week.